Hey, good evening, everybody. And I know you can't see me, but this is Scott with Keeping It Real Bass Fishing. I appreciate you tuning in. And if this is your first time joining us, please hit that subscribe button for me and that notification button. And might as well go ahead and hit that like button if you enjoyed the content. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because it definitely helps us keep going. And we're out pond hunting and looking around at a bunch of different ponds, and this is a beautiful pond here. It's pretty big. There's been some alligators spotted out here too. We're going to ride down a little further and look at these other ponds. There's a bunch of them out here, and kind of go over this. These ponds don't have, the water's pretty clear, don't have a lot to, lay downs, or don't have a lot of structure to fish, or grass, or don't look like, anything in the water like lily pads or anything. So good looking place to fish. Looks like it holds some big ones. We're definitely gonna have to give it a try. It goes back in there pretty good. And we're gonna go try to look over here at this other one over here around the corner. This is a great big one. Lake here, this is more of a lake than a pond. It's pretty good size. You see it goes way back up in there. It's beautiful out here, but you don't have to worry about, we have permission to fish all of it if we want. This one here is pretty big. Probably come back, put my kayak in, or put my small boat in here and fish this thing. It's pretty good size. So we got that other pond, we got this lake. We'll call it Alligator Lake because it's say there's alligators out here. You might see one. You stay tuned long enough, we may run across one out here, because several of them been spotted. I saw one in here the other, well, I guess it's last week. But and we'll see what we can find. This lake is pretty big. There's some more ponds in the back here we're going to go to. And the reason I'm showing you, or doing this video, is because I told you we were going to go pond hunting. And there's a lot of them over here, and we got to, trying to figure out which one we want to fish, or we want to fish all of them, but which one we're going to start with. It looks like there's a lot of good fishing in here. We'll see what happens. We gotta figure it out. Okay. We're going back here to the back. There's a little pond right there. It's not much, ain't very big. Sorry about that. We just had some storms come through here, some thunderstorms, and there's some more on the way. Try to do some fishing here this afternoon and fish some of these ponds, but with the weather coming in like it is, I just decided not to until I maybe hold off, try to get some fishing in tomorrow evening. And there's another pond, you can see that one. Like I say there's a lot of ponds out here. You're like, well, why you showing me all these ponds? Well, there's a good reason. Did you see that fish just jump out there in the middle of that pond? Jump right out there. Pretty good fish. See, I never fished this pond right here. I'm thinking I might fish it when I come back up here. That's why I'm out here, 'cause I'm looking over all these ponds. I'm trying to figure out, you know, which one I want to try to fish, because I ain't got every day, all day long to try to fish and try to find these places. So, you know, I go fish maybe once or twice a week if I can, and so I try to make the best of it on the locations I can get to try to find these big bass. They're in here. I've caught big bass in here. Not there, on some other lakes. It's all swampy too, look. It's old gators. It's flooded out back here before. And this is a good lake right here. This is a pond that I was fishing this one the other week. I caught a few on top water here on a frog. It goes back in there pretty good, as you can see. Yeah, it goes pretty good. And we'll go. There's the other lake, right, the pond right there. The sun's bright. I'm going to get out and check this out here. I fished this one. I may come back again. It's got some good fishing in it. This one over here. But one thing, like I was telling you, when you walk out to a pond, you know, you want to check the visibility. You see that water is probably about 2 or 3 foot visibility. And there's a lot of bait fish. I see a lot of minnows. You can see, if you look, maybe you can see them. There's a lot of minnows around, you know, in this shallow water hiding out. And it's like that all the way around this bank, all the way around. And notice they got the sun over here on this side where I'm at, and there's a tree line back over there, and there's in the shady in that corner. And that sun says it's going to get shady over there. Well, that's where you want to start fishing, is in that shade area, because these fish, like I was telling you, the bass are going to be roaming around in these banks, and they'll get over in that shady water chasing bait fish, and you stand more chance to try to catch them during the hot hours of the day, or when the sun is, you know, high, or the sky's a blue bird, you know, when these fish are roaming like that. And over in that corner, back there in the back side, to see it's getting shade on it. Good time to be hitting that. Top water, you could try that, or try to fish it with slow with worm or jig or some kind, you know, Texas rig, Carolina rig, or just swim jig, or just a regular jig will work. And I would throw a small spinnerbait too, try in those areas. And you want to, and you can see that it's kind of structures that's around these ponds, and then you kind of get an idea, you know, how to fish these things, because there's not a lot of stuff in the water to fish, but definitely worth, you know, fishing it. And like I was saying before, you know, you see frogs hopping around because they eat, you know, frogs being a natural predator, they're going to eat them frogs. So frogs are good bait on ponds, especially top of water in this time of year. And you can throw all kind of stuff, but yeah, I'm just telling you what I've catch. Usually this time of year I'm catching fish on, it's even some kind of small spinnerbait or late evening, when that sun gets down below that tree line, start fishing these banks, shallow, 3, 4, 5 feet out, and fish around them, top water wise, or maybe throw a small spinnerbait, and usually pick you up a few big bass. Okie doke. And there's several ponds to check out. We got some more to go look at, and we're gonna go do that. Let me get back in the car, and we'll go check out these other ones down the road, and there's a few more we're gonna go look at. One thing is hot. It is really hot, but it's a good time to, and if you're going to, fish, it's a good time to get, this is the time you should be down here about this, right now, about 6 o'clock. You should already be ready to go. We're going to fish this evening bite and start hitting these shadows on these, like this pond right here. The same thing. You're going to hit the shadows. And there's always bugs out here. Definitely want to carry you some bug spray. Keep you some off, or some. Look at all these bait fish running. Look here. Look right down in that water. How many bass do you see down in there? Right now I can see, I see 1, I see 2. They're small, but there's 2 bass right there. There's, over there I see 3, 4. If you look close, in that shallow water roaming around over there, there's at least 5 bass running around right there. You see them over here in this roaming the bank in the shallow water. They're small, over here feeding on these minnows. And it's like that. You see the type of vegetation and all in these ponds. Look at that. You see all that activity? That's stuff you want to look for. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They're going to be around these banks roaming this time of year. And even though we've got the smaller bass, well, the bigger bass will be around too. They just move a little slower, and they don't move as fast at this time of year. But they're in here, so you can start beating around these banks and fish. Look right there, roaming, coming in there. You see those bass in there? They're small, but there's a whole bed of bass, a school of bass right over there swimming around in this pond right here. They'll be in that close like that in the clear waters. It'd be hard to catch them, but they're in there. But you'll find them, and you just have to try to work at in figuring out how you're gonna catch those. I wouldn't waste my time on them. But we got one. I got one other pond down here. It's a pretty good sized pond too. It's not as big as the one across the street, but just kind of showing you. I told you this, today we're about going pond hunting, and that's what we're doing. And like I say, if you're just tuning in, my name is Scott. As obviously this is Keeping It Real Bass Fishing. Hit that subscribe button for me. Go ahead and get subscribed to the channel for me, and it helps keep this broadcast going. Also hit that like button, and don't forget to hit that notification. That way you don't miss no future videos. I just wanted to show you these ponds. It's pretty out here, and you know, there's a lot of ponds to fish. The main thing is I'm showing you this because, you know, most guys will say, well, what are we going to throw? If you walk up on this pond, you know, this pond right here, and you'd be like, well, what would you throw? You know, well, if I was down here fishing right now, that sun's up, being where it is, it's obviously it's sitting up in the sky up there. I mean, it's up above the tree line. I've still got sun on here. Over on the far side, they're going to be, the trees cast shadow on the water. And I already know because I've fished this pond before this time of day. So I will go over there and start fishing. And as the sun starts to set, then I will work my way back around on that side and then work my way back around here. Fishing, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 foot off the bank. I may cast out a little further because this is not real deep. Fan casting, I would start off probably throwing a little small spinnerbait, and then start throwing some top water. Frog, whopper plopper, spook, buzzbait, and see if I can pick up some fish on top water. That would be what I'd go with. And obviously if that don't work, then you got to go to something else. Go to worm fishing and pick you up some, maybe on a worm. But that's not my forte. Yeah, not this time of year. But anyway, wanted you guys to kind of get an idea of what I was talking about and stuff I've been telling you. I know you probably fish ponds and some of the stuff you know. I understand. But if I'm talking to the beginners, those guys who don't know and that are beginners in bass fishing, and you're just out here going to the pond fishing just any old time of the day, any old hours, and just any old where, and you go home, you don't catch anything. Well, there's a reason for that. You know, like this time of year, and you don't want to be out here in the middle of the day trying to fish this stuff. It's just too hot. These fish are hard to come by. You may pick you up some. I would wait till, like I say, about 5, 6 o'clock. You see the shadow getting on that water over there. Hit that, go over there and start hitting that side and beating that bank down through there real good, and work your way around the ponds. And it being summertime. Or like I say, you can get up early in the morning. If you want to get up early in the morning and hit the early daylight bite for a few hours, that'd work good too. These ponds do good at night if you wanted to be out here in the middle of the woods at night. But not out here at Gators, not me. All right, guys. Hope this helped you out a little bit. Just want to, you know, kind of show you these ponds, and the reason I, you know, throw some little tips in there about them. But we're going to be out here fishing these ponds. I'm going to stop this video because I got to do a little driving. There's some more ponds up the road we're going to go to, and we'll show you those ponds as well. And just wanted to, you know, put this out there because I want you guys to see what I'm doing. I'm going to, you know, I'm looking at all these ponds, and we're going to try to figure out which ones we're going to fish, and then we're going to figure out how we're going to fish them. We're going to figure out what we're going to fish, what we're going to throw, and figure out how we're going to catch these big bass. That's what you guys want to know, right? How we're going to do that. Well, we're going to figure it out, and we're going to show you how it's done. So stay tuned, and I appreciate you viewing. There again, hit that subscribe button for me, that like button, enjoying the content, I'm sure you have, and also hit that notification button so you'll get all the other videos upcoming. I appreciate you. There again, this is Scott with Real Time Bass Fishing, and I'll see you soon. Take care.